Hello YouTube, this is Tim once again, and for this time I'm going to do a video review of Soulcalibur IV on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, if you are a longtime fan of fighting games, just like me, you probably noticed that, yeah, this is a pretty amazing series, and that, it goes without saying. Many fans would regard Soulcalibur 1 on the Dreamcast as the true pinnacle of the series. It has many perfect scores from a lot of reviewing outlets, and even now it's remembered as one of the best solid fighters, around on any system. And you may know it's also available on Xbox Live Arcade as download, but whatever. We're here today to talk about Soulcalibur IV. Now, with its leap to a next-generation platform, Soulcalibur IV has made the jump pretty beautifully. You can tell the presentation, the production value, everything about this game is just pretty exquisite. It's still very rooted in the series' core mechanics, though. It's still firmly based in what made the original Soulcalibur so great. And what we see here is a fighter that's very rooted in this classic design, but just looks amazing and has a lot of content to offer. Now, many of you probably noticed that Soulcalibur IV, like Soulcalibur II, features these bonus added characters. Now, Soulcalibur II had characters like Link in the GameCube version and Swan on the Xbox version, but now they're going to feature Star Wars characters with Yoda on the Xbox 360 disc and Vader on the PlayStation 3. However, you can go online and download the other respective character for your console, along with a host of other download content. Now, these characters don't particularly add a whole lot to the Soulcalibur experience. It's kind of fun little diversion, especially if you're a fan of Star Wars. These characters are a little bit broken in comparison to the other members of the cast, but it's all in good fun, so whatever. Now, with Soulcalibur's story, it's pretty much the same deal. All these characters are getting together to find either one of these swords, like the Soul Edge with its demon power, and the Soulcalibur with its holy power, or whatever. And we kind of see the same machinations go through, you have the same characters coming to the cast, like Mitsurugi, Taki, Siegfried, Nightmare, Astaroth, and so on. We have a lot of people from Soulcalibur 3 coming back in, like Tira, and 4 also brings to the table some brand new characters like Hild, which is actually a pretty neat fighter when you think about it. She has actually a spear weapon and a short sword, which gives her a pretty cool moveset. As far as the actual story goes and presentation, the game, it does a good job of presenting itself. It looks fantastic, and a lot of the characters are very endearing. A lot of the characters are very popular. Their stories are incredibly simplistic, so you don't really need to focus too much. And it's a fighting game, so who really cares about the story in this case? You can kind of just keep skipping through it. Many of you probably already know what these characters are like and what they're doing, and really the main point of the game is just to fight. And that's why we're going to talk about the actual combat. Now, like every game before, it's a one-on-one weapons-based fighter, and the fighting mechanics are incredibly solid. It has great control, great balance, everything fits into place. And this is a great touch, especially because it's a next-generation game, and after Soulcalibur 3, which is a little less than polished, this is a great game that fans of the series would like to see. Now, some of the characters have received little tweaks to their movesets. It's not really overly destructive to the experience. As a longtime fan, when I picked up and tried using Raphael, he seemed a little different than he did in the previous games. Besides this, a lot of it does feel, pretty basic. If you've played the other games before, you can really hop into Soulcalibur 4 and start fighting right away. There are a couple really big additions in the fighting mechanics, although it doesn't really drastically change your experience, if you know what I mean. One of the things they added now is the critical finish system, which basically lets you do instant kills. If you ever played any of the Guilty Gear fighting games, you probably know what this is like. Basically, when you get this soul gauge, and when it fills up, you can perform this critical finish and just wipe out your foe instantly. And, honestly, when I first picked up the game, I didn't even know about this feature, and then I started playing, and it didn't really hit me until I actually thought about it later. I was like, oh, I can do this. So it's not like the enemy AI would really exploit this trick against you or anything. So that's pretty cool. Also, they have a pretty neat damage system. If you keep hitting enemies around the same area, you can shatter armor in that area. So you hit someone in the chest, their chest armor will break off, and then you can keep hitting them there, and it'll do additional damage. So you can see just little cool tweaks, a lot of which are neat visual tweaks. The game has amazing graphics and production value. Look at the backgrounds; they're really exquisite. The character models are excellent. The character artwork and design is just fantastic. Especially characters like Nightmare. His character design is incredibly complex in this version, and as far as like the whole sort of package goes, content-wise, you know, you have like your main mission modes, like it's like the Tower of Souls mode. You have like the general arcade and story modes. You have versus. You have online versus, which is obviously a great touch for this. And you have the character creation mode seen in Soulcalibur 3. Now, for character creation, you can basically either make your own from scratch and pick a fighting style, and then pick everything you want to customize them with, or you can just edit pre-existing characters. Change their outfits, give them new weapons. You can also buy like additional weapons. My only gripe here is it's kind of sloppily organized. It would have been nice if they just simply had a shop tab in the main menu where you can buy it and then it's available in the character creation, but they kind of had it, set in the creation mode, so you just simply buy it there. So at first, I didn't even see where the shop was, but I don't know. That's probably just me. So when you consider Soulcalibur 4 on its whole, like the entire package, it's a very well-made game, and there's a lot to offer. And any fan of the series could spend a lot of time with it. And it's really hard to actually knock this game in any regard. It doesn't bring any of the dramatic changes that some critics may have wanted. Let's face it, this is very similar to Soulcalibur 1, 2, and 3. But still, if you are in the mood just for a very good, very solid fighting game, there aren't really any better fighters out there on a next-gen platform just like this, So it's very difficult not to recommend Soulcalibur 4 if you are a PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360 owner. As for which version's superior, they both run pretty much the same. I would recommend either or, just depending on your platform of choice and your controller of choice. And of course, you can download the other characters, so the exclusive character isn't really much of a factor anymore. But anyway, this game is fantastic, and that's why we at Project COE scored it a 9 out of 10, which earns it a gold medal award. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you next time.